Hello and welcome. Should I tell them about Control? Can I trust them? Maybe. Okay, so my first impressions are some of the strongest first impressions that I've had about a game in a long time. And it pretty much boils down to three things. Those being the mood and atmosphere, gameplay, and presentation. With all that being said, let's start with presentation. In the presentation, everything's clean. I mean super clean. Design, aesthetic, everything. Down to the square design of everything, and the way it just kind of slips and slides together, the way it all functions, the concrete aesthetic, just super clean. It looks clean, it feels clean, everything about it is just really nice. It's extremely cinematic, from the opening scenes to the opening monologue to the internal dialogue to everything. Everything about it feels cinematic and it feels good. I like it a lot. Sound design, come on. Sound design is amazing. Everything about this, and this one's gonna come back. Keep your ears peeled. Haha, all puns intended. But this is gonna come back because the sound design is insane. From just the sound of picking things up to the sound of shooting your gun to the sound of, I mean, just the enemies, you name it, and it sounds delicious. It's probably the best sounding game that I've heard in a long time. The game also doesn't take itself too seriously. We will touch more on this a little bit later, but as of right now, it doesn't take itself seriously. You will get stuff from just little quips and jokes and videos that are just funny. I mean, for no other, they're there for nothing more than to be funny. You pick up some lore and some paperwork and you'll read through it, and there's a bit about how, you know, one of the previous presidents taught me how to fix my lawnmower. It's very jokey, it's very funny, and it doesn't take itself too seriously.
I don't know what missing in actions is, but I sure wish someone would find her.
I'll help you look, Topher. We'll find your mama together.
What the f*** is wrong with this game? It just doesn't take itself too seriously, which makes it fun to play. Also, title cards. Oh my god, the title cards are just amazing. Moving on to gameplay. I've played this kind of game before, many times. You know, normally in the form of like a Star Wars game or something like that, where you're going to get force abilities, and you have force push and you know, some grab and some different, you know, Jedi-ish abilities. So it's not exactly breaking the mold with what you can do, what her abilities in this game are. If this were to say Star Wars across the top of it, and you got force levitate, and you got force push, and you got force, I don't know, grab, then you would get this gameplay. You know, so it's like I said, not breaking the mold. What is different is I always get those games. I get super excited because feeling that power of being a Jedi in a game is a very exciting thought, and then it's always done very badly. Always. I've never had a good game, ever, with these kinds of powers. There might be a good game out there. I just might not have played it. I actually haven't got every game. Obviously, I haven't got every game. The ones I have gotten have been very, very, very janky. This is not janky in the slightest. It feels clean. there's that word again. It feels smooth. It feels good. It feels super satisfying to play. The gameplay's good, and I cannot overstate that enough. The gameplay is really, really tactile, really responsive, really smooth. It feels good to play, and this type of gameplay normally does not. It sounds silly, and as simple as it sounds, the button layout is good. The button layout makes sense as to what you're doing and why the controls are placed where they're placed. It's very smooth, and it just kind of clicks in your brain. You don't have to think too hard about it because they feel like they're in the right spot. I know that sounds dumb, but there's a lot of games that'll flip things, at least as far as my brain wants, where they want them placed, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't flow, and then it really messes me up. Looking at you, Nintendo. Here we are back again, sound design. But I can't say it enough. The sound in this game is just, I don't know if I've heard anything like it in recent memory. And why is sound design in gameplay? Because it adds to the gameplay. Just know that the sound design enhances the gameplay. That's all you need to know, because the sound design is just, if you're into sound, period, go get this game and play it. Even if you hate the game, just listen to it. It's beautiful. This is gonna be a little bit controversial, possibly. To me, it was a ballsy decision, and because it's a ballsy decision, I like it. I think it's great. It's something a normal game wouldn't do, and they did it, and I love and appreciate the fact that they had the nerve, the courage, the audacity, whatever you want to call it, to lock core game mechanics behind side missions. You have your main quest, say, go in this direction, and you can start this main quest going all the way through and never find some of your core game mechanics. Some things you would think would be like, oh, well, this is nope. Unless you are actively seeking out and doing side missions, you will not get like the majority of your actual abilities. Maybe not the majority, but at least half. Like, not kidding, half. The fact that, and it makes it very obvious. Like the first time, it's like, it pops it up on your screen, and it makes it clear that there is a side mission, and you need to go do this, or you can activate the side mission right now, and the room is literally right here. It's not like you have to go very far to get to it. You turn right, and there's your side mission done. So they make it very in your face, and they make it very easy. It's not like a long tangent that you have to go through to get to it. You almost have to trip over it just to get to where you're going. But it is a side mission, and it gives you a core game mechanic. So then they just kind of slide them at you from then on out. So the first one's like a big slap in the face, like, hey, look, dummy, this is how this game is gonna work. You're gonna get the main missions here. You're gonna get your side missions here. These side missions are gonna give you important shit. And then from then on out, it's up to you. Do you wanna go get your extra mechanics? Do you wanna have your rock shield, where you just start walking this way and you're like, and you levitate up a wall of rocks that deflects any and all attacks? Do you want that game mechanic? Or do you just want to keep moving on with the main quest? Because if you go with the main quest, you ain't gonna have it. Do you want the ability to just like snap somebody else's mind, and you're gonna snatch up these people? Now they're, like hypnotize them real quick. Now they're fighting for you. Now you have the wall of people walking at them because you just kind of went pop, 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 and you took over all these people. Or you can go hide behind a wall, just kind of like with your little gun, and watch all your little lackeys kill them. You want to do that? Well, you better get to doing the side missions, because it doesn't give it to you. It's not an option in the main game, and I think that's great. Last but not least, mood and atmosphere. It's weird and it's creepy, and this is actually, I know I put it last on the list, but this was easily the first thing when I started up this game that I said, I like this. And it's probably easily one of the most important things about it is just the mood, the atmosphere, the overall feel. And I know I said this game doesn't take itself very seriously. This is where we walk back around to that point, because it takes the mood and it takes the tone very seriously. In that, it sets the mood quickly, and it sets the tone quickly, and it takes that tone and that mood seriously because it will maintain that. It will set up your moving hallways, your moving doorways, your lobby that shifts around, your elevator that's not there 1 minute, but it is there another minute. It's just weird stuff's gonna start happening. It's gonna introduce you to the janitor right off the bat, and he is a super creepy character. So far my favorite character, but we'll see. But I highly doubt that anyone's gonna knock him off that throne, let's just be honest. When it comes to the mood and the tone, we are going... One key factor in that is sound design. Anyway, no, but it is. When you walk into a room and that the just grating, the hiss as it's called, is creeping up on you, and it swells and it gets louder and it ebbs and it flows throughout a room as you move and you shift and you turn and whatever. Or when you walk into a room and all the people are just kind of floating up to the sky, and just the weird whispers and noises and moans, and it sets a really creepy tone, just kind of keeps you on edge-ish. It sets a great mood and an atmosphere. It does it right off the bat, and it never really lets up. Now it injects all that humor and all that, those jokes and the funny stuff and it blends it. It blends not taking itself seriously at all with taking itself extremely seriously, and it is good. In the presentation, it presents itself as cinematic. In the gameplay, it is just so tight and satisfying to play, and then that mood is just creepy and off-putting, and you put those three things together and it is wow. So the thing is that you put it all together, and it's so far, first impressions, amazing. Absolutely. I'm super excited to finish the game. I will do a full review, or a review, which will probably actually not need to say much if it can maintain this. But the question at this point is, can it maintain this level of awesome without any massive lulls, or at least not too big a lulls? I mean, when games go on for 15 hours or however long, then you're gonna have a lull or two, probably. That's just in general. But can it maintain this level of awesomeness, and can it stick the landing? Stay tuned. We're gonna find out. As always, everybody, thank you for watching. My name is John Rammel, and I'll see you next time.